I stink at basketball because I was a wrestler growing up. That's it, Mr. Dud.
Well, it was really fun, and it's really an extension of some stuff that started a few months ago. We went to the Publican and sat down with a couple other chefs, and Michael and Paul, and we tasted through probably 16 beers or so. Really, that's when the genesis of this idea to come out and brew one of the beers for the dinner came out of that meeting.
They kind of asked us what kind of beer we wanted to make, and Michael, our beer guy, bugged me at different points and said, hey, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Let's talk about it. And we basically decided on Beer to Guard. It's something that we both love. It's great food beer.
We sat down at the actual brewing facility, the production facility, and kind of began the process of planning out our dinner that we're going to hold on the 23rd.
You tell me, if you cook this fish in a pan and you were to deglaze like normally you would with white wine, if you deglaze with you know, a real high hop beer, Mad Hatter's pretty high hop beer, that's no good. But with butter, it doesn't act like it's acid.
I always think it's exciting when we have an opportunity to showcase what our beer can do alongside food. You know, we've done a lot of work to try to make our beer food friendly.
I've been to a million beer dinners where, and I'm not trying to defend the format that we've chosen, but it really works great. You know, when you go to a beer dinner, a normal beer dinner, and you do 100 people or 80 people and all the food comes out at once, and you guys get up and say blah, 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 and the chef gets up and says blah, 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 blah. It's just super forced. This way, we're open at 5:30, it goes till 10 o'clock, it's spread out, you guys work the room, you talk to people about the beer, you sit down and have dinner. It's much more laid back, it's much more fun, and it really is more exemplary of our style.
What we were doing was kind of narrowing the scope a little bit, saying, all right, we've got all these beers and all the foods under the sun and the creativity of their kitchen. Let's try to zero in on what dinner is going to be. And so we talked a little more specifically about seasons and about what ingredients are going to be in their prime at that moment.
I gotta go, you guys.
My life sucks.
Like, this is amazing. I love this. I've always loved gardening. I always love food. You know, I like to see the cycle from start to finish.
What I really liked was the open discussion about flavors and pairing and ingredients and bridges between the two. You know, I just felt like dishes were kind of coming out of the mist, that you'd talk about a certain ingredient long enough and pretty soon there it was.
For me, I start with the date and what kind of ingredients are going to be around, what I'll be excited about. In late August, it's all corn and tomatoes and squash and...
But this has a touch, like a touch of like balsamic to it.
Yeah, you're totally right. It's got that vinegar quality.
Just a touch of it.
There's a tendency sometimes, since we're obviously drinking and tasting the beer, and then also talking about experiences that people have had with the beer or with dinners, to kind of trail off, but it was pretty focused.
Talked about lighter beers, talked about heavier beers, tasted them, tried to extract some flavors. For me, it's always trial and error.
These guys have a wealth of products, and they also have different vintages of their products, which is rare. So it's a really great opportunity to not just try new beers that they have, but how those beers have changed over the years.
What the hell do you have?
It's head cheese. Yep.
You brought head cheese?
Yeah. I never go anywhere without a little head cheese.
It's fun to have a collection of creative people that are coming at it from slightly different perspectives. Each one of us have a little different experience with the beer or the food or the relationship between the two. I think that contributed to a really well-rounded menu that came out of it.
Fred is super passionate about beer and food pairings, and it's sort of the future of their industry. You know, the more serious they are about it, the more people will get it and be excited about it. And you know, food and wine in this country has come a long way in 20 or 30 years, a huge way. And I think beer has the same potentials. I think we had a good menu.
So by Paul coming here and bringing Michael and the whole crew, they're going to make better ambassadors of beer, and that includes our beer, includes other people's beers. They're going to understand the craft better, understand the region as far as who's making beer better, and be able to speak that to their customers.
Thank you guys
for
coming
everybody.
up.
No, thank you.
Yeah. Sucky boy.